Come see me in my saddle shop someday. Hi everybody. I got this little saddle here. I just got the seat piece all done and trimmed out, and I want to show the seat piece to you, and I want to share a little life lesson from it. So this is the seat piece of a saddle before it gets glued down. This is what it looks like. That all comes from one flat piece of leather. And to form it that way, there's two things that have to happen. First of all, it has to come from the right place on the cowhide. So we used to take it out of the rib area, and I'm not kidding. I don't know how many saddle seats we threw away that ended up with a big wrinkle in them or whatever we couldn't get rid of. And then I was reading another guy's article, and he was saying to take it out of the hip area. So I started doing that, and the top piece part of it here comes from up higher on the hip, and the bottom part comes from down lower on the hip. But that seemed to be the secret, at least for me, to be able to consistently not waste a piece of leather. But then you got to soak it. Usually I put it in warm water for 20 minutes or so till all the bubbles get done coming out, and then basically you have to torture it into this shape. We use a draw down strap that helps too. And you cut all the shapes out, and you keep bending it and stretching it and pounding it and rubbing it with your rubbing stick, and that's how you end up with a saddle seat. So in life, a lot of you have been through a lot more than I have, but the things in life that we feel are really stressing us to our max, you won't realize till later in life how much that shaped you. And I look back on my life, and I see the things that I thought were really a hardship at the time, but now that I'm glad for them, because they shaped me into what I am now, and I anticipate a lot more of that in the future for me. But things that shape us, it says in James not to resist that. It says the trying of your faith works patience, but let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. So I'm not saying this saddle seat is perfect, but it's as perfect as I can usually get one. It's perfect to me. I thought it turned out really nice. It's a really good fit. Doesn't have any wrinkles in it, and it just was a good piece of leather to use. So if God is torturing you into a shape, He must have assumed that you were made from the right stuff in the first place to be able to even start that process. Because I wouldn't begin to try to make a saddle seat out of the shoulder of a steer. I wouldn't begin to try that. Or the hop on the back. There's no way you're ever gonna make a nice seat out of that piece of leather. So I'm gonna pick the piece that I like, that might work, and then go from there. The other thing about a saddle seat is if you ever have one that doesn't turn out, there's nothing else you can do with it. It'll never work. It'll never fit on another saddle. I've never even, maybe you can cut it up and make some little stuff out of it, but it's been stretched and tortured to a point that it's never really going to work for anything else. You just will throw it away and forget about it, because it's not a candidate for another place. So if God is really stretching you to your max and really torturing you, or letting you be tortured and tested, don't look on that as a bad thing. It's an honor that He thought you were something that could be made into something. Thanks for listening. Love you guys.